My hot takes. We're moving on to the next segment. A segment that I like to call my hot take segment, where I just talk about my hot takes for the season. A lot of these, again, like these are hot takes. I don't have to explain it to you that you're probably not going to agree with it. But shit, you might see this happen, and they might even come true. My hot takes. My first hot take before I get into this, actually, real quick. If you're watching right now, if you go to my Instagram right now and DM me your hot takes for the 2021-2022 season, DM me your hot takes. In my next podcast episode, I will go through all the hot takes I receive. I will shout you out and I will talk about it. And I'll give my say on your hot takes for the 2022 NBA season. Because I want to see what y'all have to say. I've come up with 4 of my own. I've got like hiccups right now. I don't know why the fuck. I've come up with 4 of my own. All right. But those are just my 4. I want to see what y'all got to say. Real quick. Fuck. Drink water. Okay. First up, Denver Nuggets make a deep playoff run. I think I'm much higher on the Denver Nuggets this year than most people are. I think the Nuggets are a genuine contender. I think Jamal Murray is a genuine, an all-star caliber point guard in the Western Conference this year. Nikola Jokic, I've always been a big Nikola Jokic dick rider. Ain't no shame about it. There's no shame about it. And Michael Porter Jr. This is Michael Porter Jr.'s year to break out. Man just got paid way too much money. He's got to break out now. So I'm predicting the Nuggets to make a deep playoff run. I've predicted them to be the top seed in the Western Conference. And if that were the case, they're going to have a pretty advantageous run to the Western Conference playoff, the Western Conference Finals. And shit, maybe even get to the finals. All right? That leads me to my next hot take. Now, this is interesting because in my first podcast episode, I said that I'm predicting the Lakers and Nets to meet in the NBA Finals. That's my prediction. That's my safe prediction. However, a hot take I have for the season is that either the Lakers or Nets won't make the finals. And I think that really, if you were to put an over-under, or I don't know how they do it in Vegas, but if you were to bet on either Lakers and Nets both making the finals or bet on one of them missing the finals, I think it's much safer to bet on one of either the Lakers or Nets not making the finals this year. And that's simply because of injuries. Nothing to do with talent. And I think both teams are healthy right now. Like their superstars are healthy right now. But injuries are a bitch. They are. And every year, stars get hurt. And I honestly think it'd be too good to be true to see the Lakers and Nets in the finals together. Because that series would be one for the ages. It really would be. It would be LeBron's GOAT series, in my opinion. That could make LeBron the GOAT. It really could. So that's another hot take I've got. My third hot take is one that the Boston Celtics fans will really like this one. Celtic fans, listen to this, because you're going to be in love with me after I say this. My hot take for the season, Jason Tatum will make a genuine push for the MVP award. I'm officially hopping on the Tatum bandwagon. I used to call him, 2 for 22 or 2 of 18, one of those things. Jason Tatum, man. Jason Tatum's cracked, and I think this is his breakout year. If y'all remember last year, Tatum was putting up like 50 points a game a lot toward the end of the year. He put up 50 points in a playoff game against the Brooklyn Nets. He beat the Brooklyn Nets in the playoff game with an injured Jaylen Brown. I'm big on Tatum, and I think this might be the year that Jason Tatum takes his game to a level where it's difficult not to put him top 10 in the NBA. And if Boston can make a deep playoff push, watch out. But I think Tatum will be in the MVP conversation. I'm not saying he's going to win it, but I think he'll be in the convo. He'll be lurking around. Yeah. That's my third hot take. And my fourth hot take, this is a stretch. My fourth hot take for this season. Here's what I've written down. Kawhi Leonard makes a late season return and turns the Clippers into a contender. That's a reach, but if Kawhi Leonard can make a late season return, all right, and is fully healthy come playoff time, I think he's got a chance to turn the Clippers into a contender, turn the Clippers into a dark horse, similar to how the Lakers had a bad seed last year, but were still considered a contender in the NBA. I think the same can happen with the Clippers. If the Clippers can all get healthy before the playoff starts, it's a reach. And honestly, as I'm saying it, it just doesn't seem possible because it's the Clippers and it's Kawhi Leonard. And, me knowing the Clippers and me knowing Kawhi, I know that this is not, it's not going to happen. But shit, if it did happen, imagine that. Just imagine, take a trip into my imagination real quick, into my basketball fantasy brain right now, all right? Real quick, bear with me. Kawhi Leonard, just imagine this. Kawhi Leonard returns a day before the playoff starts. The Clippers, an 8th seed in the Western Conference. Kawhi Leonard goes crazy in the first round of the playoffs, drops 33 points a game, goes nuts, goes ape shit. He hasn't played all year. Kawhi Leonard's going crazy. Second round of the playoffs, Kawhi Leonard again, goes crazy, goes insane. Third round, Kawhi goes for 37 a night against I don't know who the fuck. The 37 a night against the Phoenix Suns, dominates them. Get him out of there. Get him out of there, Phoenix. And then Kawhi Leonard in the NBA Finals against the Brooklyn Nets, against Kevin Durant. Again, I think Kevin Durant, by the way, might be the only superstar that Kawhi Leonard has a losing record against. I'm pretty sure it's a fact. But Kawhi Leonard in the NBA Finals just goes crazy and wins his third Finals MVP and his third fucking championship. Goat man, Kawhi right there. I'm a huge Kawhi fan. I'm a much bigger Kawhi fan than I should be. But those are my hot takes. All right, I kind of got off topic there at the end.